In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I decided to make a video about the top things I'm most thankful for as a software developer. Looking back at my career of 10 plus years, I can think of a lot of things that contributed to my success and development overall. This video is meant to be more fun and lighthearted than educational, but I think as I reflect on my past experience and the things that I'm thankful for, it will give you some insight on how you can get better at programming and develop into a proficient software developer. So in this video, I'm going to give 3 things that I'm really thankful for that really helped me out in a practical sense. And at the end, I'm going to give one thing that really helped me out from a philosophical standpoint and really helped me out in my mindset. So let's discuss. By the way, if you're in the early stages of your programming journey, I've got a special gift for you. It's called my 30-day beginner coding challenge. And it's a guide that will take you from no coding experience to building your first 4 projects. And the best part is it's free. It's a free gift to you. In this coding challenge, I guide you in 30 days to build 4 programming projects, and I give you some tutorials that are in C. But of course, these projects are really generic and really beginner friendly, and so you can actually code them in different programming languages. You can still benefit from this guide because you can just take the principles that are in my challenge and then apply them to your programming language. You can find the challenge in the link in the description, and if you download it and pay attention to what it says, you'll definitely learn some fundamental programming concepts that will give you a good foundation to your software development journey. So the first thing I'm really thankful for is dev tools, and there's 3 dev tools in particular that I'm really thankful for as a programmer. The first one is IDEs. IDEs are a game changer. When I first started learning how to code, my university taught us to just use a basic text editor to write our code, and I didn't know about IDEs at that time. It was only until I went to my job that I started using IDEs. And IDEs are really nice because they can show you a lot of things. They can show you when these parentheses are beginning and ending. You can see these 2 squares here, and then it makes it color coded, so it's a lot easier to read. And you can also even see the different spaces. If you see these dots, you can see spaces. And it's not just good even in that it makes it look prettier, but also you can actually run your code in the IDE. So you can run your code and then you can also debug your code. So IDEs are really powerful. The second dev tool I'm really thankful for is compilers. Compilers are how we can get our code and compile it into a language that the computer understands. Without these compilers, we'd probably have to write in assembly. And it was probably a lot of work to get the first compiler written. Then after we had our first compiler, we were able to compile new compilers and get better and better and better. And then with all that work put into compilers, now we can create programs really fast and compile them really fast. And the third dev tool that I'm really thankful for is Git. Because with Git, you can keep track of different versions of your code, and then when you mess something up in your code, you can just revert back to a different version where your code was working, and then you can figure out and debug from there what caused that new version to get messed up. Git is also really powerful because you can collaborate with other people on a team, and everyone can have their own branch that they're developing in, and then you can bring those branches together and bring it into the main branch, and then you can collaborate, work on the code at the same time. So those are the 3 development tools that I'm really thankful for. If you want to dive deeper, you can check out my top dev tools video. So dev tools are the first thing that I'm thankful for. The second thing that I'm thankful for is the internet. Just yesterday, my friend asked me if I still reference the C book that we used in college, and I told him, no, I don't. Because when I started working at my first job, I had to learn a lot of different languages, and I actually didn't touch C until later on. And when I was coding in those languages, there were a lot of errors, there were a lot of libraries that I had to learn about, and I could just look them up on the internet. And there were no books around that I could think of, but the internet was there. And it's funny, I was thinking about my coworkers who have been working since the 80s, since before the internet, and I was wondering, how did they code back then? And I can only think that they used books back then. But now we have the internet. So I'm really thankful that we have the internet, and ever since I started back in 2012, the internet has just gotten more and more resources, and you can learn more and more things from the internet than it was back then. So the internet's really cool. You can learn how to cook, you can learn how to fix things in your house, you can learn how to play guitar, and you can learn how to code. And if you want to know about how you can learn how to code online, you can check out my video about that. So the third thing I'm thankful for with regards to my career are my mentors. In my first job, I can say I had 2 coding mentors. The first mentor was someone who did a lot of code reviews. I worked on a product development team, and I would code things, and I thought it was good enough, but our more senior developer would look at my code and he would point out all the bad practices that I had in my code. And every time I would make it a goal that when I submit my code for code review, I don't want any comments from him. But sure enough, every time I submitted a code review, he would have a comment for me about my code and how I can make it better. Through his help, I learned how to debug my code and make good design decisions for my code. My second mentor at that job helped me think more on high level when it comes to developing my programs. Whenever I asked him questions about how to go about implementing something, he wouldn't give me the answer. He would actually just ask me questions and help me reason it out on what I can do to develop that. And we also shared meals together, and he talked to me about my career and gave me some career advice too. Now at my second job, I have a lot of mentors. A lot of them have been working way longer than me, and I'm actually one of the newer, more younger programmers, even though I have 10 plus years of software development experience. What I really appreciate about my mentors now is that they really listen to the issues that I'm having in our code. And whenever I'm running into a problem that I can't figure out, they're ready to drop everything and go with me to the lab to try to figure out what's going on. Things are really busy at my company right now, but these older software developers are still willing to talk despite the amount of tasks that they have. I always remember this time when we were working late to fix this bug on our code. Me and my coworker were trying to fix it and we were doing some debugging, but an older software developer came by and he was listening to what was going on, and he decided to stay with us. And even though it wasn't one of his tasks, he still stayed with us and he didn't leave until we left. And I thought that was a really helpful thing that he did. Alright, so those are the 3 things that I'm really thankful for in a practical sense. But in terms of my mindset and philosophy when it comes to programming, the number one thing that I'm most thankful for is God. I'm a Christian, and without God, I would have no purpose as a software developer. When I look at my career, I see my career as a way to help other people through my programs, and also I see my career as a way to bring order out of chaos. There's this passage in the Bible that really relates to my career as a software developer, and it's Genesis 1:28. And it says, "And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over every living thing that moves on the earth." The way I look at the world is, I don't think it's a product of chance. I don't think it's an accident that we live in the world that we live in. And I believe that there was a higher power, there was God who created it. And when he created out of chaos, or he brought order out of chaos. And that's what he was doing in the creation. He created the world and it was beautiful and good, and then he created us in his image and sent us to be his representatives on earth to continue the work of creation in making the world beautiful and good as well. So God created, and likewise as a software developer, I also create. And as I create, I don't see it as him being distant, but he is also working in me and working with me to continue creating in this world. So you can see that God is an integral part in my software development career. Alright, so those are the top things I'm thankful for as a software developer. The first one is DevTools. The second one is the internet. The third one is my mentors. And then the fourth one is God. And God is the person that I'm really thanking for. It is because of him that I have DevTools, the internet, and my mentors. Alright, what about you? What are you most thankful for? Is it DevTools? Is it the internet, like this video? Or is it mentors, like me? Let me know in the comment section below what you are most thankful for as a software developer. Alright, like I mentioned earlier, if you're just starting off in your programming journey and you don't know where to start, you can download my 30-day beginner coding challenge. And it's a 30-day guide where I teach you how to build those 4 beginner programming projects. It's really beginner friendly, and I go step by step on how to build each one and then go through the tutorials that you need to build each one. So download that in the link in the description. Alright, that's it for this week's video. I hope it was fun, thoughtful, thought-provoking, inspiring, and I hope you had a good Thanksgiving break, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.